The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, On the day of the first month, on the first of the month, you shall set up the Mishkan of the tent of meeting. There you shall place the ark of the testimony, and you shall spread the dividing curtain toward the ark. You shall bring in the table and set its arrangement. You shall bring in the menorah and kindle its lamps. You shall place the golden altar for incense before the ark of testimony. You shall place the screen of the entrance to the Mishkan. You shall place the altar of the burnt offering in front of the entrance of the Mishkan of the tent of meeting. You shall place the washstand between the tent of meeting and the altar, and there you shall put water. You shall set up the courtyard all around, and you shall put up the screen for the gate to the courtyard. You shall take the anointing oil and anoint the Mishkan and everything within it. You shall sanctify it in all its furnishings. Thus it will become a holy thing. You shall anoint the altar for the burnt offering and all its implements. You shall sanctify the altar, thus the altar will become a holy of holies. You shall anoint the washstand and its base and sanctify it. You shall bring Aaron and his sons near the entrance of the tent of meeting. You shall bathe them in water. You shall clothe Aaron with the holy garments, and you shall anoint him, sanctify him, so that he may serve me as a Kohen. You shall bring his sons near and clothe them with tunics. You shall anoint them as you have anointed their father, so that they may serve me as Kohanim. And this shall be so that their anointment shall remain for them in everlasting Kehunah throughout their generations. Thus Moses did according to all that the Lord had commanded him. So he did. It came to pass in the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the Mishkan was set up. Moses set up the Mishkan, placed its sockets, put up its planks, put in its bars, and set up its pillars. He spread the tent over the Mishkan, and he placed the cover of the tent over it from above, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He took and placed the testimony into the ark, put the poles upon the ark, placed the ark cover on the ark from above. He brought the ark into the Mishkan and placed the screen and dividing curtain so that it formed a protective covering before the ark of the testimony, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the table in the tent of the meeting on the northern side of the Mishkan, outside the dividing curtain. He set upon it an arrangement of bread before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed a menorah in the tent of meeting opposite the table on the southern side of the Mishkan. He kindled the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the golden altar in the tent of meeting in front of the dividing curtain. He made the incense go up in smoke upon it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the screen for the entrance of the Mishkan. The altar of the burnt offering he placed in front of the entrance of the Mishkan of the tent of meeting, and he offered up the burnt offering and the meal offering upon it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the washstand between the tent of meeting and the altar, and there he put water for washing, and Moses, Aaron, and his sons would wash their hands and their feet from it. When they entered the tent of meeting and when they approached the altar, they would wash as the Lord had commanded Moses. He set up the courtyard all around the Mishkan and the altar, and he put up the screen at the entrance of the courtyard, and Moses completed the work. And the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the Mishkan. Moses could not enter the tent of meeting because the cloud rested upon it, and the glory of the Lord filled the Mishkan. When the cloud rose up from over the Mishkan, the children of Israel set out in all their journeys. And if the cloud did not rise, they did not set out until the day that it rose. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the Mishkan by day, and there was fire within it at night, before the eyes of the entire house of Israel in all their journeys.